Morning. I thought I would make a little video and update you guys on what's going on in my backyard. I did record a couple videos, I think like two, and I just didn't upload them just because I've been busy. The kids just got out of school, and I had little promotions to go to, and I haven't got around to uploading them, but hopefully I will. So we are now in June. I think it's like June 12th. I think it's the 12th. Yeah, so I thought I would update you guys on what's going on. This is what the yard looks like right now, and sorry if it's a little bit loud. It is our trash pickup day, so there might be some background noise. So yeah, so let's start. So some things that I thought were happening are not happening, and then you know how things are always changing in the backyard. Things can happen. So as far as like my fruit set on my trees, like starting away in that back wall, in that corner of the backyard, the pomegranate is full of pomegranates. We have a lot of pomegranates, so we have a beautiful set of pomegranates on the tree. It's a nice crop. And then also in that corner, like following the pomegranate, we have two citrus trees that I thought were going to do very well as far as setting fruit this season. That is the Owari Satsuma that's in the ground, and the blood orange that's in the ground. But those, I believe, have dropped their fruit. They bloomed very heavy, and you can see in one of the videos that I recorded earlier, I think it was in May, but they were covered in bloom, so very, very heavy bloom set, but did drop. I don't know what freaked them out and caused them to drop their fruit, but they did. But I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they're going to hold on to a few. I would settle for one piece of fruit from each tree. They're small. They're like 2 feet tall. And those are the citrus trees. Around that corner, there is two orange trees that just went in the ground last fall, and a bear slime. The bear slime is holding on to like 2 or 3 pieces of fruit. They're picking up trash, sorry. They're like literally picking up trash right in front of, they're probably picking up my trash. So I think the bear slime is holding on to like 2 or 3 pieces of fruit. The oranges did have fruit, but they dropped. So yeah, and then I'm continuing. The pineapple guava is blooming for the first time, but it has not set fruit. That one's blooming for the first time. I have two. The other one bloomed last year, but it did not set fruit. And then right after that, in the corner, that top one right over there, that is a peach tree, and that has a beautiful crop of fruit. It's a lot of fruit. I have thinned that tree, and it still has a lot. So that peach tends to overset, so it sets really, really heavy. I did not thin like early enough, so like the earlier you thin, the better. I did lose like a branch, so you always run that risk of the branches getting too heavy and them snapping, and then like you lose like an entire limb, like you lose like the whole fruit set that was on that branch. you know, so it's better to remove like 10 pieces of fruit and keep like 2 or 3 so you have nice large peaches. Because you could have like 20 on a small branch pieces of fruit, and then it gets just too heavy and they can snap. And then if it doesn't snap, then you get like really small pieces of fruit, like the fruit doesn't get a good size on them. So that's the peach. We have some peaches on there, quite a few. And then continuing like around that corner, the dog run, the other citrus tree that's right on the corner, there's a grape. First there's a grape that went in this spring, and it has like 2 little clusters of grapes. So I'm leaving them on there so that I can taste them. It's just, I shouldn't, but I want to. So it's like 2 little clusters of grapes and not a big like bunch of grapes, but I just want to, I don't know, I just want to leave them on there. I think it can hold them. It's not a gigantic cluster. So we have a few little grapes. And then right next to it we have the sudachi, and it's got lots of citrus. So that one, I've told you before, it's very reliable. It almost sets like 100% every season, and whatever fruit, it holds on to its fruit. So it has a heavy fruit set, and it doesn't drop its fruit. So it is got a beautiful set of fruit on there, quite a bit of fruit. So we'll have a nice little crop of sudachis. Again, you know, so reliable, heavy producer, like it bears a lot and it doesn't drop them. And see, I treat all of my citrus the same. You know, that sudachi is in the ground just like the owari and the blood orange and a couple of others that I now have in the ground, and that one gets the same fertilizer, the same type of care and love. But so the only thing I can think of is location. Maybe it just gets more sun. But everything else, it's the same. Like whatever I do is the same that I do for all of them. I do the same thing for all of them. So the only thing I can think of that when the trees drop fruit is that maybe they don't like the location. Anyways, we have sudachi, and then we have some little flowers. But then, a new addition to the yard is the pear tree following that sudachi, and it's just a baby, so there's no fruit. I wasn't expecting any fruit. It went in the spring. After that, we have some flowering trees that are like desert willows, but they just kind of bring pollinators to the yard. Hummingbirds love them, and they're pretty. So then as far as fruit, I have an evergreen back there. So there's some evergreens, some flowers mixed in there, but no fruit. As far as fruit, the other grapes don't have any fruit. There is 4 grapevines that lined the dog enclosure, and there is no fruit on them, just one of them, the one that I told you that's next to the sudachi. And then inside the dog enclosure, the dog run, there is a big jujube. You can see it. It's pretty tall. It's like as tall as the it's in the middle and it's in the back. It's that one over there. It's covered in jujubes. There is lots and lots of jujubes, so it has a beautiful crop. So it's that one's also very reliable. I get fruit almost every year. It sets a lot of fruit, and yeah, it's just one of those easy, carefree, reliable, like I'm almost guaranteed a nice crop of fruit every single year, every single season. We have jujubes. This is another one. The apricot has a nice crop of fruit. I did thin it. It does tend to set too much fruit, just like the peach, and it could snap. You can see some of those branches are just dingling, and they're just loaded with apricots. So we have apricots, and that's the one tree that should ripen its fruit first in the season. So the apricots should be ripe within a week or two, a couple weeks now. We're in June 12, so yeah, definitely won't. The fruit should be gone by July. I think so. It's the one that gives me fruit, the very, very first one of the season. And then over here. I have another citrus tree, but there's no fruit on that. That one did not even flower, and that is the yuzu. But it does look beautiful. It put on a lot of it did put on a lot of branches and leaves, and so it's getting a nice little bushy shape to it. So it did do that. It did grow, but it didn't flower, or it didn't flower. So if it doesn't flower, it won't set fruit. And then we have no plums there. That is new. It's a new baby plum tree. It's a European variety. But in that corner of the run, we have a beautiful, a nice, beautiful, what is it called? I have so many trees. We have, you guys, I lost, what is that called? It's a persimmon. Oh my god, persimmon. So persimmon, it has way too much fruit. That's another one that tends to over produce, and those branches are skinny and they can snap. So I have not thinned, but I am going to start thinning soon, because there is a lot of fruit, a lot. I will have to remove some of it if I don't want to lose part of my tree. There's no fruit on that baby little bush over there. That's a silverberry. I believe there's a little bit of fruit on the olive tree. The pineapple guava here did bloom again for the second time, but I have not noticed fruit development. So yeah. This is an apple tree. It has a very light crop of apples again. So I'm just not too happy with this apple variety. This is the Arkansas Black. It doesn't tend to set very many fruits. I don't know if it's because it's having a pollination issue. Like, it does need a pollinator. I have a crab apple, so that's my pollinator. But this one tends to bloom a lot more very early. This one blooms kind of late. They kind of do overlap a little bit, which is why I have some fruit on there. But yeah, probably not the best pollinator. I don't know. I have a few apples, so we have some apples, but nothing exciting. It's like, I don't know, 5, 10, something like that. We do have some crab apples. This one tends to set fruit every single year. It does bloom very pretty. They're not great for eating. They're okay. They're pretty good, but not wonderful. But we have crab apples. We have quince right here. This one tends to set a lot as well. I did thin this already, so they can get nice and large. But that's it. We do have some fruit set on the figs. I think all the figs have fruit set on them right now. And I did get some dwarf everbearing mulberries for the first time this season. So there's that. And then what else do we have fruit on? We have some plums on the Shiro yellow plum, but very few. I don't even know if it's going to hold on to any plums, so we may not even have any plums this year. We may have 1 or 2, and it's not looking good. The tree looks pretty, but the fruit set on it is not good. Don't know what's going on. Could be a pollination issue, since I don't have the Santa Rosa this year anymore. I didn't have it last year though, but last year I didn't have an issue. So anyways, I don't know about plums. We could have like 2 or nothing. And then we do have fruit set on the nut tree. The pistachio nut did produce fruit this year, a lot more than, I think last year it had 1, and this year it has like more than 1. So we have some pistachio nuts. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I'll show you the nut tree. There it is, the pistachio. And that's it as far as fruit of the fruit set that we have this year. I will give you guys I'll make another video and then walk through the yard and give you guys a close-up of the fruit, maybe in a week or 2, or in a few weeks, or whenever I get around to it. But we do have some nuts on here. Do you see that? Those are the pistachio nuts. I don't know how I'm getting fruit. This could be partial. This could be like maybe self-fertile or partially self-fertile, because the male is right here, but it didn't bloom. So this couldn't have pollinated this because it's very small still, and it didn't bloom. So maybe there's another one nearby, a male, or maybe this is partially self-fertile, which is why I have some nuts on here. There's more in the inside. Getting a nice size to this, but I still don't know. There's still a lot of things I need to learn about this tree. I don't have a lot of knowledge on this tree.